we have the license and the right to make whatever relationship today that we want to have. And that's inclusive of not having a relationship.
It is.
It is.
And it
It has to be.
includes, to your point, marriage. It includes friendships.
It does.
It's like, if you're not, to our earlier conversation, if you're not getting rid of the toxic, poisonous chair in your living room, everyone gets to make a choice about that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think anything could happen. I think anything could happen. Um, and I think that if she's happy, stopping where she's stopping, um, then there isn't going to really be anything that's going to make her move from that place and suddenly decide that she wants to jump where we've jumped to and where we're jumping to. I think that, and I think that that's okay. you know, um, it goes back to, I think Enoch was talking about this about, or either him or Daniel was talking about civilian Christians and non-civilian Christians,
Wow. Come on. That's
right?
good. That's
And
good.
I've seen it a lot. Like it's really like we've talked about this, how this is the first time you're like seeing this play out, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but
In
it is
depth
not
like
in
this.
depth, wait, like right up close, right? But it's
Yeah.
not the first time that I've seen it. But when I was the first time that I've seen it, it was shocking. It's shocking. It's shocking to see a person that you're so aligned with, like you're breathing the same breath, you're finishing each
Mm,
other's sentences,
goodness.
suddenly jump off of the road that you decided that you thought that you both collectively decided to travel together and to be on until the wheels fall off. And this goes for this relationship we're talking about. It goes for marriage. It goes for friendship. It goes really for any kind of relationship. It's like when you have picked your person, or you and your person have picked each other, or you and your people have picked each other, and it's like, okay, this is what we're going to do until the wheels fall off, and then all the wheels are still on, and you're not there anymore. Like, what the hell,
What the heck?
What the hell?
It's
What
like
happened?
walking around with a ghost. You're like, you were there 1 minute
Like a
and
half a
now you're
breath
not.
ago, like a half a breath ago, like a half a breath ago. And it's so psychologically jarring for that to happen. Um, and when it's happened, when I've seen it, when it's happened in my life and I've seen it up close in the past, um, it always, because I used to be a real fatalist. I'd be like, oh, that's it. That's all. That's it. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's all,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
and, you're going to sail off the edge of the planet and fall off, for the flat earthers, you know, you
It's
know,
over.
it's over. Um,
Yeah.
and it just really always felt like that to me in times past. But I've lived some more life, had some more years, and seen I've seen the hand of God in people's lives. And what it really ultimately ends up becoming is that the vision that I had for their life and the vision that I had for our life together
Ooh, come on.
isn't going to come to fruition. It's
My
not going to be
God.
the way I imagined it. It's not going to be the way I foresaw it. And that's not because I imagined it wrong or I foresaw it wrong. There are many roads and choices and decisions they're like train tracks switching, switching a train from this track to this track at the flick of a lever. It's a decision,
Yeah,
and
for sure.
um and so there's all of these possibilities of what it is that I'm imagining one possibility out of all of these possibilities that it could possibly be. And in the past, my one thing that I'm envisioning was the only thing that I could
Yeah.
envision. And the loss of that vision was tantamount to the loss of life. Or, you know what I mean?
Wow. Very
The
dramatic.
very dramatic, but also very real too, because you
But
feel
very,
it,
yeah.
you feel it the way you feel it. And you walk around with the wound, that you think is not going to ever heal or ever heal right or something like that. And it's all the things. And it's just, I don't know, I've gotten a little older and changed a lot, and I think I believe a little differently now. I think that because there are all these different avenues and permutations of what it could be, just because it's not going to be this doesn't mean it's not going to be anything. And particularly with someone who's got the hand of God on their life and they're filled with the
Mhm.
Holy Spirit, it's like just because they're not going to walk the way that I imagined or the way that I thought we were going to walk together doesn't mean that they are disqualified from the goodness of God showing
Say
up in their
that.
lives in a
Say
major
that.
freaking way. Like
Say
there's
that.
also not just one plan of God that if you don't follow it to the absolute letter and T, then it all blows up and there's no plan B or C. It's like, oh,
Come
you
on.
caught God by
Tell
surprise,
the people.
you know what I mean?
Yes.
You caught God by
Yes.
surprise and he didn't take into account that you might choose to go this way, kind of thing. Like that's not real either. It's like he said, like we said before, he said that he's on all roads, and particularly dealing with someone who's got God's hand on their lives like that. Just because my imagination is limited doesn't mean that his or theirs is. And so
So good.
I think that's why
So
it's
good.
more important to just find love, find
Ah,
where the love is, because it's the only thing that stays stable. And love is like balloons, they can expand. They can expand. They can
That's really
expand
good.
and they
Yeah,
can contract.
that's really good.
Um, and love can pop too, pop. But there or a rubber band or something, the love can expand. And I think that if we get rid of, I mean, let's keep it 100. If we get rid of the ideology that Shannon and Clarissa had,
Yeah.
if we get rid of that, and to your point earlier, if we all step into our identities, then we haven't found or discovered or identified what that friendship looked like.
Gosh.
Maybe the friendship did run until the wheels fell off.
Yeah.
Maybe it ran its full course. Maybe it's
Yeah.
not. Maybe it's not ended prematurely. Maybe it ran its full course and came to a
Wow.
finish line. Like, I've never thought about this before.
Me neither.
Maybe it's not what I thought. Maybe it's not what you thought. Maybe it's not like, oh, it's over. Maybe it's more like, "Er." Because remember when you and I, to your point about us quitting each other, and there was a time when we didn't talk at all. When we did talk, you were like, um, I had to die, or that our relationship had to die. And it was like, absolutely right. It did have to die. In fact, the whole damn thing had to die because it was impossible for us to leap over into the new place where we needed to leap over from where we were standing. That had to end. That
It
had to
did.
die
It did.
completely.
It was toxic for both of us,
It was. And it was like
the
trying
way
to
that it was.
unravel all of that toxicity was taking up the usable time of the new relationship. We were never able to really get to using the new relationship because we're always doing this cleanup. It actually did have to die, you
It
know.
did.
And in order for us to start, we had to start. We didn't
Over.
have to restart. We had to
Yeah.
start.
Start
We had to
from
start
where we were.
from where we were and
My
let go
God.
of all of it. So, to that same point, we have the license and the right to make whatever relationship today that we want to have. And that's inclusive of not having a relationship.
It is.
It is.
And it
It has to be.
includes, to your point, marriage. It includes friendships.
It does.
It's like if you're not, to our earlier conversation, if you're not getting rid of the toxic, poisonous chair in your living room, everyone gets to make a choice about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. Exactly. And I think that that is one of the gifts of being given the opportunity of having a new identity, you know,
Yeah.
being able a new heavenly identity that you can embody in the natural. Like one of the major components that have observed in this transitioning from Shannon, the identity of Shannon, to the identity of Samantha, is that Samantha has none of the baggage that Shannon has. It's like a brand new crystal vase that's
So free.
it's never been filled. And now the only things that are
Yeah.
filled in this brand new vase are the things that I deliberately put in there. I don't have to just have things in here because they're a carryover from this vase over here. This is a completely different vase than this one. And I get to choose what I put into this one. And I believe that we all have that sentient being. We've all been going through this healing season. We all have new vases. And we get to fill them with whatever we want to. And so if I were to talk with her myself, when I talk with her myself, I think that that's would be what I would say, is yeah, let's cheer for what has come and what has been, because it's been good. And let's cheer for the fact that we made it to the finish line. It came up faster than any of us actually expected, but it finished nonetheless. And it finished because we've all come to our death finally.
Wow.
We have finally all come to our death. So we can celebrate the fact that, well done, thy good and faithful servant. That race is finished. And any new races that are being run, the contestants get to enter and enroll if they so choose to run it. And if not, cheer me on from the side. Have a cup of water on the side of the road as you see me running. You know what I mean? Don't be like on Seinfeld and have a cup of coffee like Kramer. You know what I mean? Don't
Yeah.
throw salt at me.
Wow.
Remember, let's at least remember the love that we have shared and let it be enough to have you love me from afar if that's what it's going to be now. Um,
Wow.
but love can do amazing magical things. It can expand as far as you can stretch it,
Yeah.
and it can shrink to the size of a rubber band. You know what I mean? And I say, let's let love expand. What else
That's
are you going to do?
that's fly.
What else can you do? If,
Yeah.
if the alternative is to literally alternative is to walk around carrying bitterness or carrying seeds and residue of bitterness of,
Yeah. And
you know
that
what I mean?
changes you.
It
That
does.
changes you,
And it
especially
shows
in the
up.
context of like marriage, because people put so many hopes and dreams into it, and you're like, this is who I am.
Yeah.
And then when it doesn't when it ends, you're like, I'm not anything anymore. And this,
Yeah.
I'm
And
not
it's not
anything,
true.
it's not true.
It's not true.
It's not true.
And that's the power of being a creator, right? And being a creator is being connected to the creator, is that you can create something new.
Yeah.
You can create a new idea of what this can be. This can be, we can create something fresh. It doesn't have to be nothing or putrescence. How about something fresh and new?
Wow.
How about something
So
beautiful?
powerful. Yeah.
How about we make something new and beautiful, you know? Or at least give the opportunity or the possibility, the realm of possibility of something that doesn't look necessarily anything like what used to be or
Yeah.
what we imagined in the 10% of our brain, the 3% of the 10% of our brain that we
Yeah.
use. You know,
Yeah.
maybe there's something outside in that 90%, that 97% that is unexplored, that too also has beauty and relevance and purpose and
Yeah.
light and fruitfulness, you know?
Yeah.
And so
Um,
even, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'm seeing that like and I'm looking not just at my marriage, but at certain friendships. It's almost like once a relationship gets to the point where one or the other isn't allowed to evolve, that's usually where the rubber meets the road. Like,
Yeah.
why don't we let each other change? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we let each other be better
Even if it's a
or get
change,
better? You know?
even if, yes, evolution, but even if it's a change that we don't agree with,
Yeah, that's yes.
it's still, yeah, it's still everyone's right to
Everyone
change.
has the right to
Everyone has the
change.
right to
Whether
change.
it's a positive or a negative change, it's like we're human.
And that's why love becomes the thread.
Yeah, I
That's
see it.
why. It's literally why
I'm
love
tracking
becomes
with
the
you.
thread.
I'm tracking with you.
Literally why. Because everything else falls and crumbles and all you can be like, well, I my heart is open to you. I want the best for you. If you need me, I'm here. you know, all the things that love says, you know, and all the things that love does.
Yeah.
And again, I'm talking like it's not sloppy agape. I'm talking about mature love. What does love, what does mature love say? What does mature love do? You know, and you do those things. And I think the details work themselves out. So I'm glad you got a chance to have your convo.
Yeah. I I don't think that it could have happened sooner because I was still very angry.
Yeah.
And even recounting it, I'm like, oh, there's a little anger in there. But I think that being less angry at least helped me to see her side of it. You know what I mean? It at least helped me to be more measured in my evaluation of the situation, and
Yeah.
wish her well,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
without like you didn't do the things.
Yeah.
you know?
And I
Yeah.
think that even as we talked at the beginning of this call about like, we want to be healed in this conversation too. Like, I feel like that's happening in our midst as well. I feel like there's the rinsing that's happening. I'm
Yeah.
reminded of, do you remember when we had our big blow up after, was it the Super Bowl party? And I like left and went to San Diego right before COVID, like right before COVID hit.
Super Bowl party. Good. You know how my memory is.
Oh, God.
It's the
Anyway,
worst. I'm like, I'm gonna be the Alzheimer friend. I'm definitely
No,
y'all
no,
gonna have
no.
to show me pictures and videos. Like,
Be like the Notebook. Remember?
read our story. Read the story over and over again.
Read the story of us. Don't you remember 50 First Dates? You're like,
Like, I vaguely was there a skirt? Was I wearing a skirt?
no, you were not wearing a skirt. um,
Oh
let me
my
see if I
God.
can say something to jar. Okay, well, what happened was I got really mad. I got really mad. I felt like our relationship was changing. And oh, this is an excellent example. Our
Super Bowl
relationship,
party. Okay.
yeah,
Where?
it was at your house. I was in
Oh,
town.
I was getting my
Oh,
hair done.
oh.
And go. I'm here.
And
I'm
go.
with you. I'm with you.
And I was changing. I was changing a lot. I was being morphed. I was being accelerated and fast forwarded. And the people around me, some people couldn't see it. Some people could see it and got on board with it to help me evolve. And some people could see it and fought it.
I was that person. I was like,
You weren't the only person though. You were not the only person. And I couldn't stay. I had to leave. I was going to stay. I was supposed to stay in like a week or something like that, and or a few days at least. And I couldn't stay, and I had to leave immediately. And I ended up because I was living in Cabo at the time. Before I went home, I went to San Diego, and I just like camped out there for like a week, 5 days, whatever. And I was so upset. And I remember that this was Airbnb. I had this place, and it had this swing. It was like it was in like this mountain area of San Diego, and they had this swing that overlooked like this surrounding mountains like this, right? So I
oh,
went
wow.
out there with my coffee and I'm upset and I'm like, the swing and I'm swinging real hard, and and I was like, I don't know what to do about this, and I don't know how to handle this. And when I calmed down, I just saw this vision. I got the Spirit of God came and I saw this vision, and the vision was me, and I was holding our group like this with both hands super hard. And it was like this. And he was like, "You're holding it too hard."
Mm.
He said, "You're not allowing them to evolve either because you feel like you need to be in control of this. And that's control is always born out of fear, right?" And so he's like, "You're holding it and you're not allowing them. You're talking about them not allowing you. You're also not allowing them because you're trying to hold them." And he was like, he showed me my hands. And he was like, "That, let it go like this." Right. And when I
Yeah.
let it go, then I saw the pieces and the people start floating. They just started floating around like this. Right. And I'm
Mm.
just sitting there. I'm sitting there like I was sitting there on the swing, and I'm just like looking around and watching everyone and everything pertaining to those people float around me and become undone. And I had no
Oh, wow.
control over where they were floating to, if they were going to land, where they were going to land, how they were going to land. It was like I had to let go of it. And I had to let go of those people too in my heart. I had to
That's
let
hard.
go.
That's
Mhm.
hard.
But
That's hard
really,
to
what
do.
it is now that I'm looking at it and we're talking about it, really what it was it was letting go not of the person or the people, it was letting go of my idea of them
Come on.
and giving place to having no idea of them at all. While while the old idea was gone and going away, and the new idea had yet to even materialize or even show itself that it would materialize, that it like there is a new idea that actually exists. There's this period where there's nothing. And sometimes you have to be okay with there being nothing.
Oh, my God.
right?
That's, yeah, no, I mean, you're speaking wisdom.
Right? There's this place of nothing. And that's again where love comes in because there may be nothing, but love is still there. So there's not really nothing, there's just love.
Wow.
And the quality, I believe that the quality of the love that you expand and you allow to exist will dictate whether or not a new idea comes.
Mm,
It'll dictate what kind of a new idea comes, you know, and it'll dictate whether or not you'll be able to enter into it with the new person or the new people in the
yeah.
future. It's a qualification. Can you exist without your idea of the person and still love them? Because if you can, it will qualify you to entering into a new idea of that person and the relationship that you can have with them.
Mm.
It's a qualification. Can you love when either there's nothing to love? Can you love when there's either nothing to love or nothing that you can see to love?
And that right there is the holy challenge.
Mhm. That's why you need help. That's not a human thing. Like
That
we
ain't
can,
human. That's angelic.
that's
That's
that
angelique.
angelique. That you got to pull on
Angelic.
something bigger than you,
That's
something
angelic.
clearer and cleaner than you. Not that you're not a clean person, because
I mean, are any of us that clean?
and that's what you
That's
have to reach
holy,
for. Yeah.
you know.
But like we talked about earlier, there's this exit door that can materialize and be all the reasons why just to
Most of
exit.
us want to put on our tennis shoes and run.
Or there's this other thing that you pull on from the Spirit of God that maybe makes you weaker. You're like asking to overcome it, like you're thinking you have to be stronger, but really the antidote is to become weaker. And, through the weakness, the Spirit of God shows the pathway to getting something that you really wanted, which is this a healthier version of this relationship.
Yeah, being.
Full circle.
I would also submit that the only time I've been able to make that choice is if there's purpose attached to the relationship. And
Mhm.
that's when I start to
That's
weigh
true.
out, like,
Yeah.
do I exit the building or do I stay, and
Yeah.
do that holy work? I don't usually choose to do the holy
Just
work
stay.
unless there's a purpose that I
Yeah.
can see that would fall to the ground, you know?
Yeah.
So,
I
yeah,
agree. And
I
I think that again, it goes back to the love thing, because love can be a placeholder.
right,
Love can be a
right.
love can be a placeholder. And we're not going to talk about this now because I think that we've kind of run our course, but it also opens up the conversations about, like, I have this thing about orbits that I have people in. It's like if you imagine yourself rather like as the planet Saturn, you
Yeah.
imagine yourself as a planet Saturn. There are rings, there's these orbital rings that go around Saturn. And I look at my relationships like that. There's sometimes when I've got really close relationships and they're in the inner ring,
Mhm.
and it happens that. And sometimes people make choices that bounce them out. But rather than, again, I'm not like a in or out, black or white kind of person like that anymore.
In or out.
That there's maybe they're not on ring one, but maybe they're on ring eight. You know what I mean? And we can
Yeah.
still have a dimension of relationship and a dimension of love walk together,
Yeah.
and it not be ring one requirements. You feel?
I feel you.
Maybe it's ring 4 requirements.
I
Ring 4
feel you.
requirements are not ring 1 requirements, also not ring 8 requirements. The closer in on the ring you are, the more that I'm gonna expect as part of the relationship, because that's the level that I'm giving to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's that inner circle.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
that's purpose.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody's a level 3 purpose and someone else is a level 7 purpose. Maybe somebody, you know what I mean? And I think
Yeah.
that for me, that's something that's evolved, and it's helped me not throw people away.
Wow. Wisdom.
Yeah. So I guess we talked
So
about it now.
wise. So wise.
It's
Seriously.
helped. It's helped. It's helped. This is such a yummy conversation. Thank you
I
for opening your heart.
yeah, yeah, of course. Always to you. It's the internet that I get concerned about. it's it's these internets.
The internet's.
But
Yeah.
no, thank you for coming along on the ride to because I think from the first time we had this conversation to now, I can definitely feel my heart being more healed in this area. And I can also see like romantic relationships. I can see the pathway to what happened there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oof.
Because of it's unlocking other things for me to be
Yeah.
having this conversation with you. I'm like, oh wow, I usually put on my sneakers. I'm a runner. She a track star. She a track
Shakari
star.
Richardson. Shakari
Yeah.
Richardson.
I come out fabulous. I get nails and hair and that's me. But
Yeah.
that tracks because I know I'm an avoidant in relationships
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, you
So it
mentioned that.
tracks. It
Mhm.
tracks. But then I can also see the people that I've kept by any means necessary and I'm glad that the spirit of God intervened, you know, because especially in our relationship, I'm glad that the spirit of God intervened.
Yeah, me
All the
too.
times that he did.
Yeah, me
They
too.
did because I'm a runner.
Mm,
But this has been
yeah,
really good. Like it's really,
yeah,
really good and edifying. And
yeah.
wow, I can see it more clear going forward for
I
sure.
feel washed by this too. I feel washed by this too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you too. Internet, be kind.
Internet, we love you too. We hope
We
you've
love you.
gotten a
You
lot
can
out of this.
say what you want in the comments.
Yeah. And we'll pick it up again next time. Thanks for joining us. Make sure you like, share,
Subscribe.
subscribe, do
All
all
the
the
things.
things. Yeah. And yeah, we'll catch you next time.
We'll catch you. See ya.
See ya. Bye.